Bless you, dear. I've been caught on the spur of the moment. I've come from another function, so I do apologize for being a bit late. I have so much to say. Pastor Desiree, I met her like 12 years ago. Do you want me to embarrass you a bit? The first time I met Pastor Desiree, I was my pastor's right-hand woman. She said to me, Divine, I know you got the biggest house in the church. There's a prophetess coming, a powerful woman of God from Durban, and could I ask you a favor to house her? And I said, no problem, because my house was always open to men and women of God. I love men and women of God, any caliber, any race group, whatever, as long as they're men and women of God. And when you see grace, you must embrace it. And I didn't know, I just heard it's a powerful woman of God. But whether she was powerful or not, she was just a woman of God, And so that evening, we did all our preparations, and I was preparing my house, getting the room sorted out, and I liked the room smelling nice, and I said, this is a woman coming in, she's very far away from my husband. So I had on the other end of the house, she had her own bathrooms, and we were on the other end. And so that evening when she got to my house, I got to the church, and then we had supper together, and I was looking at her, and I said, oh my goodness, this woman, where should guess this dress from? She's wearing a dress that looks like a 90s. Why is a powerful woman like this, dressed like this, but actually it was God speaking to me, the Holy Spirit speaking to me, said to me, I didn't know at that stage that I'm going to be her designer. And when my pastor brought her home, I was very keeping away from her. So I was a bit scared what she's going to say to me. But something very powerful happened that day, since she spoke very powerful words into me, and I hold on to the prophetic word, and a lot of it has come to pass. And I know that she carries something very great for the kingdom of God, and I honor her with everything that we have. Not myself, I speak for my family as well, and I speak. And I just kept away from her from that night. The next morning, I got a little bit closer to her. A little bit, but I said nothing about my sewing, nothing. I didn't even show her my sewing section. That Saturday afternoon, when she came back, so she got into my room, I was doing some work, and she said, this is where you work? And I said, yes, and I didn't know how to put it to her, but she wasn't looking nice, because I'm a kind of person, you see some Indian women, I specialize in Indian wear a lot, so when I see the Indian ladies have their bundani hanging in when they go, especially the bridal couple, it's their families, and the mother is walking like this with the sari hanging, and I just want to run up there quickly and just put it right for them, irrespective if you know them or you don't know them. And when I saw Desiree, I really felt so sorry for her, and I said, what a beautiful woman, so stunning. I can really revamp this woman up. But what, Lord, you got to give me a chance here. But I felt a connection with her immediately. And as she got into my sewing room, we started to talk, started to chat, to tell a little bit of my family. She started to tell me a little bit about who she is in ministry and where she operates from. I felt that connection immediately. And the next time she came, my pastor asked me to house her again. And then for the last 8 years, she only came to Divian's house in Richards Bay. And she wouldn't even go to hotels because she felt absolutely comfortable. My husband, we're like friends, and we have good times together. We have some fine times together. But Desiree has always been there, and to empower me, to encourage me, and she's been very instrumental in our lives, my children's lives as well. And since that day, I've been sewing for her, and I do it because I do it out of love. This morning I spoke at church and I spoke about the spirit of ingratitude. I spoke on tithes and offerings, but for some reason, everyone's not like Desiree. She doesn't speak on tithes and offerings. It's something to do from within. And I said, there's something that's been bothering me, the spirit of ingratitude, ungratefulness. We're so ungrateful. And when I was thinking about Desiree, I said, what will I say? And I said, there's one thing that Desiree possesses is gratitude. She's ever grateful for the little thing that you could give her. Even if it's dal curry and rice and you call it to your home, she is so grateful, beloved. My daughter always says, Mommy, Auntie Diz, she's so, I don't know, not fake. She's not fake. She's just ever willing to do something for you. She's ever grateful. And I just want to say to you, dears, I don't want to say Pastor dears, you are truly a good friend. And my husband can vouch for that as well. We were late, but we said, we have to do this for you. We must stand together. And I heard some other speakers say as well, unity is a very powerful word. And when we come together, togetherness is a powerful way of expressing who we really are. Like, it didn't take one person here to put this thing together. It took a couple of people. So unity. And with Pastor Desiree, whenever she came to Richards Bay, I don't know, the people in Richards Bay are very rich. The name says it for themselves. And Pastor Desiree, God has opened that door for her. It was opened via my ex-pastor, Pastor Nolan in Richards Bay. And since then, she is so welcome in Richards Bay, and she doesn't go to anyone's homes anymore. After Devane moved to Durban, she goes to the waterfront hotel, the Protea Waterfront Hotel. We are always there. And the best, why not? And she's so welcome in Richards Bay that, even though she ministers, people bless her, they bless her abundantly. When she comes back home, she's coming with a top brand. It's not because it's out of sympathy. It's because they love her, they appreciate her, they embrace her. I think it was mainly the said that we need to treasure this. This is gold. And truly, beloved, my husband and I we often sit and we have, we chat and we say, find a woman, find a man. I've come to Durban and I've been searching, although we're helping our pastor to build. But still my heart is always with Desiree Pretorius. And whatever we learn here, we apply it in our church. Because God is always looking for a Deborah to ignite fire somewhere. And I always would say, my pastor is so open and so transparent that I would say, Pastor Desiree Pretorius once ministered this and she once said this. And he knows her. He has a relationship with her as well. So I thank God for the transparency also between my pastor and her. She's a kind of a person that's never jealous. Always open and transparent. That's what I like about her. And the kindness that she has. I always say sometimes that people abuse the kindness that you have. And I say, Des, no, you need to draw the line now. Now you need to draw the line. There's a fine line. Now, I said this morning in church, I said, some of you look at me and you say, yeah, but Devane, you're different in church and you're different in your business. You don't know me. You need to get to know me. Because when it comes to business is business. I said, Christian people don't like to pay. They don't like to pay. They like everything, can you make a better price? And I tell you, my husband and me, I pay for it. If it's quality, I will pay for it and I'll give you a little bit more for it. Even when I go to my hairdresser or anybody, I will give a little bit more. Like Desiree Pretorius always teaches me that. Give a little bit. And I watch her, I watch the way she sews. I watch the way she, gives people and blesses people who don't even deserve it. I said, but Des, that person doesn't even deserve it. They treated you like this. No, Devane, you know what? Do it unto God. Do it unto God. And she taught me that. So it's instilled in me, I think it was the Apostle Paul that said, you need to wear gratitude like a garment. And that gratefulness that she's got, she's so ever grateful. I mean, look at her. She's looking stunning. This dress of hers is not been sewn now. This has been sewn like 5 years ago. And you're looking great. God is really doing something extravagant in your life. Yesterday she came, she was blessed with nice earrings. And I'm so glad. And even together with Jared, we love you, Jared. And you're the man. My daughter says you're too handsome. And for all you guys that stand with her, it's so important, not to abuse. Not a woman of God, not necessarily a woman of God, to abuse each other. If we have misunderstandings, if we misunderstand and false perceptions about each other, I think we need to chat on a one-on-one. And get those things out. Because I said to the church this morning, if we as Christians did not get it right in the church, how is the lost going to come in? God's going to delay there. It's got to delay because we Christians are envious the moment you see somebody's dressed up nicely. What she's acting like that? And you hear it and I said, church, forgive me, but I hear it sometimes. I hear you speaking like that way. You need to stop it. Stop this thing. I said, you know what? We need to declare war in the heavens against the spirit of ingratitude and the spirit of murmuring and complaining. I said, you know, when the Israelites in 40 years in the desert, when they walked with Moses, they were so ungrateful to what God has done in their lives. And you know, they had a cloud by day and a pillar by night, but still they were complaining. They knew God, that the presence of God with them. So you know, today I just want to say, treasure what you have, and treasure people like, you know, all these people that you heard testimonies. These are men and women that are powerful. And you know, God is raising up. You know, I've loved something in my life in the last 2 years. Do not underestimate anyone. Anyone. You know, I said to my husband the other day, I said, do you know there's no one ugly? There is no one ugly. And I said, you know what? You know, you can choose to say that person is ugly or the person is pretty. Because you can choose to find the beauty in that person. So as I said this morning as well, it's a choice that you have to make. So you can choose to think ugly about that person, or you can choose to just put it behind you. So today I just want to give God all the honor, the glory, and thanksgiving for what He has done in your life, Pastor Days, and together with your church. And I know that He has walked you on this journey. I know of her struggles. I know every struggle of hers. I know her pain. I know her hardships. You guys may not know every detail, but I know every detail. I've heard the cries. I've heard some cries. But this is a woman that keeps persevering. You know, the Word of God says in the book of James says, consider it pure joy, my brethren, when you go through various kinds of trials, for this is the testing of your faith. Endurance, keep moving. And I just want to say thank you to the church, thank you to all the intercessors. Some of you, I don't even know you, but you helped my husband up last year in November. Was it in November? October. We had suddenly had trouble at home where my husband, we were praying on a Sunday night and I had to rush him to hospital. And, you know, I didn't know that my husband had 5 blockages. So that night when I rushed him the next morning, it was a heart attack. A massive heart attack while we were praying. And I thank God that, you know, that got detected in time while we were in prayer. And through that entire 1 month that she was in, I was going in and out of hospital. You know, my mom said to my sisters and my brothers, you know, what kind of a Christian is she? She don't even phone us and tell us to prepare food for her or see to the children. But I wanted to see God in this, beloved. Yes, everybody was standing there. They wanted to prepare food and do stuff for me. But I wanted to see God. I wanted to see the strength of God. And I saw God's strength. You know, going in the morning, going lunchtime, going in the evening, coming home eating peanut butter bread and sleeping. God's customers here up, they don't care. You got a husband in hospital, you get their works, you get their stuff done. And you know, I thank God for every person. This said to me, Divya, don't give up. It's not time yet. This man's gonna pull through. This man is gonna pull through. But somehow within me, when I was driving the vehicle and taking my hazards on and motoring, going from Shlanga, it was not very far from our house, so it was much easier, you know, going that way. And you know, I had my one hand on him and I was driving, and I had enough peace inside of me and saying, this man's not gonna go now. The Lord's allowing this for you. The Lord's allowing humbling here. And I said, God, you know what? I just knew within me that this is all for us. For the glory of God, you know. And, you know, the relationship between the Lord and us and our marriage and our home and our family. Oh, He's a wonderful God. He is so awesome. He is mighty. He is Jehovah Jireh. He will provide in the right times. And, you know, we must bear witness to everything that He does in our lives. Because without God, I can stand here and say, I cannot survive. Without His strength in my lives. And right now we're busy packing. You know, it's been really, I haven't been to some Tuesdays. And there's really a cry in me to get there. Because I have got pressure from my customers from Richards Bay. They think I'm moving and I'm not going to do the work. So they want their stuff before I move. So, but I know God is still busy. He's still, He has many plans for our home and our family. I also had my daughter that gave me a very hard time recently. Some of you know about that. But I kept on holding on to God, and I said, Father, she will return. She will return, because I'm a very strict mom. I don't take nonsense. You know, these young girls, when they get 21, youngsters, 21, they want to do their own things. So our pastor said to me, he said, you know what, Vivian, stop it now. Treat her like she's a child that is married and out of the house. So I said, how do I do that? Because that's what Desiree said to me as well. And as soon as I did that, the peace came. And then within 3 weeks, I think it was, she was back home. And she says, no, mommy, it's tough out there. I said, yeah, you think everybody will get your food. She doesn't do a stitch of work. I've got a full-time living maid. I've always had a living maid. And she's spoiled. But you know, the Lord allowed that as well. He allowed me as well to humble. Because our kids, we're facing a new generation of kids. The way our parents handled us. And with me, no is no. I don't want to answer. I don't want to backchat. And she wouldn't take that. She says, no, mommy, you don't understand, Give me a little bit of freedom. So the father used to always tell me, give her a little bit of freedom. And, I just didn't understand that part of it. But I just want to thank God today. He's brought her back. She says, mommy, God had a plan and purpose where He sent me to my little sister's house, where she stayed. Because that's where God used her in that family. And she says, don't you think I wasn't praying? I was the one that was dragging them to church. So even my sister today says, you know what, I thank God for your daughter coming and staying with us. Because, she really, really spoke into our lives. And, we don't have to get excited about everything. I used to get excited about everything prim and proper, because I'm a perfectionist. And God has really humbled me with a lot of things in my life. And I said to Dears, lately I've been very quiet. And the reason why I've been quiet is because God has been working in my life. I give God honor tonight. There's a lot of testimonies. There's a lot of stuff. When God has done so much for you, you can't stop celebrating and giving Him the praise for that. And I know if we had to talk to you, there's a whole lot more things that He's done. Breakthrough and change. I think each and everyone in this room has been through tremendous breakthrough and change. But before I go into the next person, I just want to, would you sing Jehovah is your name? Jehovah is your name, yes. You need the mic? Jehovah, just lead it, yes. I need Desiree.